Yes, a special one from the CEOs, downtown with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. James on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon.
So they have to
You want to know what happening in the
what is
ministry.
available for them to come to work. So I respect them. If they have stayed home, I will have had problem for staying home for not doing the Liberian people job.
Any party comment for you going to leave this side?
Chief, if the Liberian people interest is not protected, we will burn our section.
Somebody watching me. Thank you so
Big
much.
deal.
For me,
The Liberian people interest, the issue of water, lack of water, all public universities, high school should be taken care of. Make sure that our women are protected. The laws of the land is protected. Chief, there are a lot of things you know.
all
Even
of
you,
these things are talking about never on the agenda today.
which agenda?
Thing to
Now, why we asking for you to get on the agenda and they don't? So for the fact that they don't want to get on the agenda, it means that they are not interested in the Liberian people.
Is it the speaker who preventing them from
You
coming
know,
on the
you are
agenda?
aware.
Is it the
I've
speaker
been
who
raising this
preventing
issue. I've been raising this issue. You saw those guys in there, those United Party lawmakers. You see the kind of recklessness they own in that place. Those guys are very reckless. You think we're running parties in shit government? That anything comes from any minister or
But they are
director
just
come
doing
here?
numbers, sir. They are just, you are in majority.
Chief, I'm telling you, did I say, I'm telling you the legislature. I'm part of the legislature. I'm there, I'm telling you what is unfolding.
Thank you very
Where were
much.
you here when I stay away from the retreat? Where were you here?
Why did you stay up?
Because they were not in the interest of the Liberian people. They were not in the interest of the Liberian people.
Honorable Coco, you are a member of the legislature. Don't you think there is some other way that
We are away. We are away. I wish we were in Kenya when the Pope went down the whole session, the whole parliament. You did special way here when the Liberian people are not protected. We have to protect the interests of the Liberian people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that's the voice of Honorable Foucault. Now threatening to burn down the legislature if they don't proceed rightly. Thanks for watching. My name is Bill Laman, Truth FM Real.
The BBC reporter is a partisan reporter, and we have alerted his institution.
By people decimated, according to them, by the police director, and with our any association of being on protest ground. Or let's say even I was at the protest ground, it is guaranteed under the law of our country that citizen has the right to petition their lawmakers. So why would you be arresting people because you claim that they were protesting and they wanted to go and see their lawmaker, and they indiscriminately go around and arrest people? As a matter of fact, where were I arrested? Where were I arrested? I was picked up, I got down from my vehicle. I was never at any protest site. I got down from my vehicle at Total gas station to go and get gas in my car. Got down, while standing to the gas station, I saw 2-3 pickups of police coming to me, hitting me with guns, hitting me and holding me from all angles. As a matter of fact, I was glad yesterday that while I was at Central Prison, I had international human rights, I had the European Union, I had everybody going there to interview or talk to me about why is the reason that I'm incarcerated. Look, we believe clearly that Mr. Walker is not proceeding righteously. Mr. Boakai is bringing us back. He derailed the process.
Torture him, and we are also waiting for the government in court because I saw the charge. They are charging with terrorism, meaning he's a terrorist. So, he has to appear before the judge, and he's ready with his lawyers for the government to come and prove his case. That aside, the arrest was illegal, and we will file a counter suit for that.
Sometimes
two kinds of deal. It wasn't here alone. He plus 14 other persons were released. I had to sign a document for him to be free. And the judge granted that so that they can be available when the government, through the Ministry of Justice, is ready to prove how he is a terrorist. We're waiting for that. We will not allow the judiciary to be used by anybody for their own tyranny. We're not allowed that. He has a right, even if you are protesting, as they are saying, he has the right to protest, a constitutionally guaranteed right.
They hit. Oh, then move. Just a sec.
This is the mean fire.
Wow.
And the heat.
Wow.
We're doing all we can, but this is the mean fire.
Wow.
Very risky at the moment. And so the LPRC fire team has
wow.
So you can see the floor. You can see the floor. John is not going to answer you. But you can see the floor. Everything has been bursted, cracked, burnt, damaged. The walls and everything. This is at the Capitol. So we want to catch up with the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police as to why he's here as we're moving. You can see pieces of debris, charred debris, burnt pieces falling off as we move.
Okay, Spoon will tell you what's happening in Liberia, what's happening across Africa, what the issues are, and of course, what the policymakers are doing. This is where you get the news, authentic information about the happenings across Liberia. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight. This is the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. We are here live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1 and several frequencies across the country. Thanks to our partner radio stations across Liberia that are relaying the program as well. My name is Nelson Colette, and let's hope we can have a great show tonight. Kindly share the program as you come on this edition of the program, Spoon Talk. As we get to talk Liberia tonight, and welcome to the show. Let me recognize a few of you. I see Dolo is here tonight. Please share the program. Robert Riches has joined us. Thanks for coming on. Williard B. Murray's. I see Brother Marcia Snelling is here. Rim Nia is joining us as well. Emmanuel Takpadra. It's been some time. Emmanuel, thanks for joining us tonight. Jatu Konto is here. Hashim Fambole is joining us as well. Ban Alice is here. Alice Ban. News Card. Thanks for joining us, brother. We appreciate you for coming on tonight as well. It's been a minute. Compliment. And to all of you across the world, thanks for joining us tonight. Mark Reeves. Thanks to everyone for coming on tonight as we are here tonight to throw a little bit of light on some of the happenings, and it's going to be a great conversation tonight. Yes, with a whole lot happening across the country. Many of you followed the unfoldings, especially with the incident on the grounds of the legislature. The Capitol building caught at fire, and that has been a major concern to Liberians, not just in Liberia but across the world. Police has taken keen interest into the situation. An investigation is ongoing. Well, the president expressed a serious disappointment over the situation. Says the legislature is a place meant for responsible people who should be making laws for the country, not for hooligans or hooliganism. You know, you want to pull it that way. And in the midst of that, the the Liberian Senate has been taking that into keen consideration as well. They've embarked on some initial 1.8 million USD for the Capitol building joint chambers, the reconstruction of for the reconstruction of the area following this situation with the fire outbreak. So they embarked on this as this is coming hand in hand with the draft national budget discussion, and so this is going to let's say pave the way for the reconstruction work on the joint chambers of the legislature. It was completely destroyed by the devastating fire outbreak that we all saw on cameras and all of that when the several media outlets were there on the grounds of the legislature reporting on that particular issue. So the Senate's chairperson, the chairperson on the Senate's committee for Ways, Means, and Finance, Senator Prince Mwai, announced that during the during the review of this 2025 budget, for which discussions and different engagements have started. These are things that they're going to be looking forward to as well, to ensure that the joint chambers of the legislature is brought back to normal. You know, this is something that's been a major concern, and so 1.8 million would be that initial amount going towards getting the joint chambers back. Now, it's not just the joint chambers, though the joint chambers was that place that was severely damaged, totally destroyed, but right beneath the joint chambers, or we say under the joint chambers, you have the rotunda of the legislature. Those two places are meant for the both houses to converge. Like recently, we've seen some state state actors who lost their lives. The book of condolences have been signed at the rotunda of the legislature. So it's been meant to. It is that place that brings the entire legislature together, and then right above that, you have the joint chambers at which the both houses will again converge, especially during the State of the Nation address that is just right next door, coming up in January. So these are all things that are just coming hand in hand while Liberians are gearing up for the State of the Nation address, the controversies at the legislature, and then you have the situation with the fire outbreak. But then the major concern is whether, even with the 1.8 million, the joint chambers of the legislature is going to be in full swing, or at least brought to that place where it's usable, even for the State of the Nation address. There are concerns now. Information is that there are contemplation to have the State of the Nation addressed either at the Centennial Pavilion or, you know, at some other venue. So these are all things that are happening. But the legislature got a fire. A lot of you know, an investigation is ongoing. And the former president's chief of office staff, former information minister, former maritime commissioner, Mr. Eugene Nangwe, have threatened legal action against the government of Liberia and its functionaries. He's accusing the government of violating Sekou Carrasco and others' rights. He stated that in a strong worded statement when he went, to file the bond for the release of Sekou Carrasco. We have videos to that. We're going to be bringing it to you as well. So yes, it's been a major one. Carrasco was arrested on the day of the protest, and then he was released today. Spent a night or two behind bars at the Monrovia Central Prison. You say South Beach for short. So yeah, these are some of the happenings. We're going to bring you more updates on all of these issues, but not much time on our side. We want to go back, go across the table, bring the team on, and get the conversation started tonight. Yes, the president announced that Liberia will be getting 500 million from the Millennium Compact, based on her performance, based on the country's performance. So this is a grant that's going to be going towards battling the countries. So many sectors. One area that the Compact was able to make significant contribution was in the electricity sector over the years, and getting the Compact again, especially for a country like Liberia, is a big boost, and this is something that the government is very excited about as well. Plus a lot more happening. Let me bring Francis Jabate on. Francis, welcome, and it's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you, Nelson. It's good to be back. Good morning to our folks in Liberia. Good evening, wherever you are. Good to be on. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing well. I was just trying to equalize the audio. Let me see if I can bring Alfred Konowa on. Alfred, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, when the military man does, the salute like this, it confuses the little man. Like Francis said it now, thinking which one I should do, right hand or left hand salute or whichever.
We'll do both.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you do both. But the problem with it is that once you do both, as soon as you do both, everybody will know they may not know anything. Yeah, but it's a great way to be on tonight, starting the late night show. I'd like us to just do our opening with so much happening across the country. The late night show, based on some adjustments, we're not coming on Mondays and Wednesdays, and stuff like that. But it's a great thing that we're here tonight. We're here on Tuesday night, I think. Yes, Tuesday night, and then we're here tonight. But let's do our opening, starting with you, Francis, and then we can go to Alfred.
Yeah, it's a sad day for every Liberian, anybody that associated with Liberia, knowing that our country is going backwards. It's like we're doing a cha-cha slide, we're always in reverse. A few group of people just sit around and destroy the country for the rest of us. It's sad. The country and this MCC thing, every time they talk about it, I just think it's an insult to the intelligence of the Liberian people. That's why even as a result, a report that came out that Liberia, when it comes to IQ, Liberia has the lowest IQ in the world. Sierra Leone is next. And it's not because
I want to see that report. I want to know who compiled the report and what the authenticity of the report. Look, we need to look at all those different aspects.
It's not because
there's a poorest or second poorest country in the world. But anyway, sorry, I'm interrupting.
This is not because of the average Liberian now wanting to better themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But because those rogues, the three branches of government, they intentionally suppress the Liberian people to keep them in their state of dependence, wherein they cannot think for themselves, they cannot, no good education, no better health care. So at the end result, they are just manipulated to do whatever. You see university students speaking. One critical example, I'm not even going to say name because when I do, sometimes people watch the show, they will know who I'm talking about. But some brother came from Liberia, have a master degree. Is a cousin of one of our friend, a master degree holder. Then another guy here was doing a temple, was doing working his bachelor's and was doing paper. The brother, he asked the brother to help him. Liberian minute, what they give you PP water, they go memorize the whole dictionary. The man wrote that paper, gave it to my boyfriend Temple. The man took it to the professor draw one straight line through it. Whereby and say, you need you're not trying to impress me here. Too much redundancy in this paper. What I mean is using 10 different words to say one thing. Like the PP poke them. The PP poke them. That you go show it's not an LU thing. You go show it here. The professor at table drew one line through it. Our people are not learning anything.
Thank you.
Because the education system sucks in that country. And as a result, you see they're not burning the capital. Our people, instead of protesting against the 3 branches of government for the crimes that are committed against them, they're not signing with United Party, they're not signing with CDC.
Thank you.
And I ain't kidding our people.
Thank you. I want us to use 1 minute each to just do our openings because we have a lot to cover tonight. We have just an hour to be on. Let's hope we can make the most of it. Mobile, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. Alfred, you want to do your opening quickly? You are muted. You want to unmute? Okay.
Nelson, thank you so much for having me on the show tonight. I thought we would have come on yesterday to really talk about the trending issue in our country, especially so with the burning of the nation capital or the Capitol building. Nelson, it saddens me when I saw the picture. In fact, I saw the picture. It was posted by the political advisor to the president, Magdalena Cooper. When I saw that picture, look, it brought back fresh memories to me. You know, as a child growing up in the Liberian Civil War and seeing building being destroyed. You know, it brought back fresh memories to me when my school was being burned down from rocket, paper, grenade. You know, so it's sad that at this point of time, our people cannot resolve their issue, you know, peaceably, but rather to engage into what I call vandalism and arson. This is quite unfortunate for our country. And you know, I've been a president for it. I've been a president. We call it President Keke. The term Keke in our tradition means a leader who is very proactive, a leader who will move ahead before something happens. Unfortunately, this president sat down and allowed the situation to overwhelm him. Now he said, hold on, let me finish. Let me finish, Nelson. Nelson, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
So just
I know we'll go into the conversation, but I want to start. I want to begin at this. That the president is responsible for it, and he has no face right now to sit with anybody to talk about peace. Because if he wanted to do this, there's a reason, Nelson. In Article 50, the first line, it said the power of the president is vested in the president of the republic. There's a reason why that first line says that. The chief magistrate of the country is the president. He's supposed to be the one to be very proactive to put things in order before we get out of hand. Let me start because we got more to talk tonight.
I want to hold you there quickly. Let's move to our brother Charles to do his opening, and then Mobile will be next, and then we'll move into the conversation tonight. Charles, you are muted. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Nelson. It is always an honor to be here, and to our people, we want to say thank you for always coming on. We appreciate your comments, whether good or bad, towards our opinion. We appreciate it. But again, Nelson, it is important that we come here and speak to national issues in our country, in our society. As I speak to you, I'm sad. I'm really sad. Watching tapes from Liberia and seeing our Capitol building on fire. In fact, I saw your colleague Nelson upstairs there trying to bring live footage of the incident, and he was like, it faced everything. You could see the arches, the dead, the black spot all on his face. We don't have to go through this, guys. We don't have to go through that. It's so sad. It's so sad to see this. So we let us be honest to ourselves, and let us be honest to our country.
Thank you.
When we call ourselves patriots, we have to show it to Liberia, not to a party or an individual. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Charles. Moba, you want to do your opening quickly, and then Raymond, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you, Nelson, and thank you to my fellow panelists, and thank you to our many listeners. Look, Nelson, I came across a lot of stuff, and what really got to me was the Capitol building. What happened? I think day before yesterday. Look, I see a lot of people on Facebook hearing the lawmakers calling heroes and what. And as you know, like I said, I'm beyond my comfort and like what's going on in Liberia. Because if you see from all indication, Nelson, there's nowhere in the world, even when using political jargons, talking about burnings or Capitol Hall, and maybe 2-3 months, within 2-3 months, and it will, and what you say is happening. Even before this, even after that statement, he should have been called to the police station for caution. For the FBI to question him, for the police entity to question him, what's the intent, what he means by you, and if this not happen, the Capitol building will be burned down. But today I see people celebrating him to tell how ignorant our people are. They don't know the laws, Nelson. So it just baffles me to come every day and discuss something that Nelson, 30 seconds. Every part of the world, even in the United States, I challenge anybody, whether sedition or whosoever you call yourself, just wake up one morning, go lie, or go burn a warehouse. You will see what happened. The police got to no, they will not even wait they will not even wait before you say you're going to burn it, but you'll see FBI to those sue money to FBI office. That's how the law works. But in Liberia, when it happens, people hearing people who getting free taxpayer money and sit down in section doing nothing but threatening the state of our nation. And then we sit down there, we condone it, we happy, we celebrating, then we hearing you as heroes. I think it is baffling and it is wrong for our nation. Thank you, Nelson.
Thanks a lot, Moba. I think we have to now go into the issue. Remo, you want to take maybe just 30 seconds? You're opening quickly because we're just about transitioning to the talking points now. You are muted.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Nelson, and thanks, gentlemen. Where the ladies at? It's good to be back. And again, the topic under this discussion, what's happening unfolding at our Capitol building. It's a sad day for all well-meaning Liberians. This is not the image that we get up to in the morning wanting our nation to be known for. But unfortunately, what we have in our country are individuals who are so greedy. In the spirit of greed, they would do anything and go to any measure over power struggle. And I heard a lot of people talking about the rule of law versus anti-rule of law, laboring it. And I sit and wonder, what's wrong with us Liberians? Why will hold on to our side and be so blinded that irrespective of what's happening, we still hold on to our side and champion the cause? The individual under question who claimed that he will burn the Capitol building also said on the first day, when members of the House of Representatives intended to present a resolution, he said that they're not going to allow them to do anything unlawful, inasmuch as the Constitution requires a resolution to remove the Speaker. He was already making that statement, talking about killing other members of his colleagues if they attempt to open the door, using profanity. But yet people claim that these people are people who they claim are constitutional and the rule of law. Liberians, I don't know what we've gone, what we have become, but it seems that the love of country has disappeared and we have all taken a side and we are at war. Our side must win, come what may. At the expense of the suffering Liberian people and our nation at large. It's a sad day because it seems that none of us are patriotic enough to call wrong or wrong, but we take a side and we'll defend our side and we'll put spin on anything. We'll find talking point to defend our side. And this is sad for our country. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot, Raymond. And let's hope we can have a very engaging civil conversation tonight, as always. Because it's about Liberia, regardless of the side you support, regardless of the political ideologies, your alignment or whatever, the national interest is first above, every other thing. There's just been a whole lot, and in the opinion of almost everyone, you all try to touch on this very issue. And I want us to begin from here. I want us to begin with the president's response to this whole Capitol building situation when he arrived on the scene. I want us to also listen to or take into consideration some of what the District 9 lawmaker said that resulted to this whole questioning, this whole invite from the police as well. And then maybe we could go back to some of the other issues and then we'll come back. But let's listen to just a portion of this one.
It was not done. Why were you because we need witnesses to make sure that this process and the law is respected. That's what we want.
You threatening to burn down the chamber.
Yes.
Why?
If we cannot prioritize the Liberian people interests, for which we were sent here from the 73 districts to burn that session.
You think you can do that?
I'm very serious about it. To burn down. I'm telling you that if the Liberian people, JFK got issued, even our staffers at Capitol building, there is no bus to take them home. There is no bus to bring them. There is no health protection for them. No insurance here for them. Now look at JFK. Now look at Redemption Hospital. Now look at the teachers. And we look at the University of Liberia. The children don't have chairs to sit in at the University of Liberia. Now look at public schools, Tottenham, and other public schools in Liberia. So they are not taken into consideration.
For that reason, your police are corrupt. They are a bunch of nickel pools. They will burn down.
I am telling you that will burn down this section if this people don't.
They hit. Oh, then move. Just a sec.
This is the mean fire.
Wow.
And the heat.
Wow.
We're doing all we can, but this is the mean fire.
Wow.
So you can see the floor. You can see the floor. John is not going to answer you.
You have problem. We have the rule of law. We have every way in this place to be able to listen to you. But we're not going to accept this. And we're asking the Minister of Justice, all of the security apparatus, including our friends, to investigate this letter. People who are culprit, who will deal with them, and we'll set the tune for all other people who, when they get angry, they burn down the police, they destroy this. We're not going to allow this. So we just want to say, to console the members of the first family in this government, that we're in sympathy with them, but this destruction we have to stop. And we're not going to allow this to happen in this country. But people who have problems, we have the way to remedy all the issues in this country. So that's all I have to tell you. I'm happy that you are here. You will look at yourself, but we're not going to settle for this. This is not a place for hooligans. This is a place for responsible people who are here to serve the Liberian people. This country is poor, and I don't care what they do or build this country for the interest of future generations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You
president made a post yesterday, Alumbo, and later on it was removed from
Alumbo, it's Alamo.
Okay, Alamo. But later it was deleted. What did it delete, honorable lawmaker?
Men and women.
Okay. Okay. So folks,
So I want us to start the conversation from here. The statement from the lawmaker, District 9, moving to what you saw, the fire incident, and then the president, response to it. The speaker responded to his post he made, and we're putting all this together because we've been off for some days, to just address this in one talking point. Then we're going to come back to the other issues. Let's start the conversation with you, Alfred, and then we're going to go around the table.
Nelson, thank you for having me again. I think I am disappointed in the president. I think the president should have taken more leadership role in terms of acquiring this situation before it got out of hand. And I mean, the president has nothing to lose. This president has nothing to lose. What if the president had called his so-called lawmakers in a house, the Unity Party lawmakers that are joining the majority bloc to remove the speaker? Look, let's call a spade a spade. The interest of the Liberian people is greater than the interest of the president. The interest of the Liberian people is greater. Why if the president had called these people by showing leadership and said, look, this is not what we fought for. This is not what the Liberian people brought us here for. Show me one instance where Speaker Kofa begin belligerent to Bwagai in terms of the agenda of the country. Show me one instance in the last 11 months. There's no history. So for people like Rachel Kuhn, who wants to be a leader in the midst of chaos, it's counterproductive for the development agenda of Joseph Bwagai.
So in the midst of everything that's happening here, Alfred, why would you want to blame the president? I mean, there's tension at the Capitol building. Yes, we've seen for the past 2 months it's been that way. It has gotten to a point where I don't know, for some reason, whoever did, but the joint chambers where the majority bloc has been having session is burned down.
Nothing. Over the years,
for what's happening at the first branch of government.
Over the years, we created an imperial presidency where anything that has to happen in the country, the president has to move. That's the imperial presidency that we created. So I am telling you that if the president have been more proactive in terms of moving in and using his presidential influence, all what we are seeing today, including the burning of the Capitol building, wouldn't have happened.
Thank you. Let me hold you there a bit, and let's take more about on this one. Your take on the issue more about you listen to the three comments: the president, Representative Frank Safoko, the speaker, and the situation at the Capitol building.
Thank you, Nelson. Look, I understand my brother trying to blame the president. First of all, the president can interfere in any business. When he tried to settle things, we don't know if he settled it from the back, or we don't know beyond closed door, but it not materialized. And he let it go. So we shouldn't come in and blame the president. The people that are grown people, they in their own dispute what the president got to do with it. The president got no interfere he ain't got to interfere in our business. But let me go to the main issue. The statement from the president, Nelson, I hear people knocking on the president. Why the president got to make that statement? He's the president of the Republic of Liberia. Oh, okay. And the statement he made, right? The statement he made today, tomorrow, is the rest statement from the president. He said, let us bring them to justice. He not said, let us bring Unity Party or CDC to justice. The perpetrator. So bring it down the capital. Which one of the country you can tell me? Look, Liberian, if not me, it shouldn't be you. That's the problem about Liberian. And people, I see people on the other side, everything the president, only one person. Now one person, he not omnipotent everywhere. He not everywhere at the same time. He one place. Although he get people, some information he get, he work on it. Not all the information you will get and work on it. So end of the day, Nelson, we'll come here, we talk what we want to talk, but end of the day, what happened to the capital? It is wrong. And according to what the president said, let all the security preparators come together. Let it work in hands to investigate the matter. Because we want to see the outcome. We want to see the result. We want to see if it was electric, maybe one wire, negative and positive, come together, or it was somebody who planted something there that after certain hours or certain minutes, it will blast. That we want to know what's going on. We're not just sit and say everything the president was right. Those people, if it was somebody who do it, look, Nelson, it just hurting me to see our country going back off. If you're angry, let me conclude, Nelson. If you're angry, if you don't want the president, or maybe you want for something to be done, take your placard, put it up, sit quietly. It's the right article. The articles in the article is there. You're right. We all die. Where your rest started, where your rest begin, end, where your rest started. Just like that. So if you're doing it, make sure other people on the street too, they get the right of freedom, the right of movement. So if you're doing your stuff, you put it up, people will listen to you. But for you to
I want to hold you there,
Bob.
Let me hold you there a bit.
Listen, it is wrong, man.
I really don't want us to get to that point where, it appears like trying to jump the whole investigation, trying to point accusing fingers. Yes, we can make the analysis around the issues, but it's very important that we take note of all the different sides of it. But Francis, go ahead. Let's hear your take on this issue.
Yeah, Nelson, the first thing I want to clarify, even on Spoon Talk and other networks, people talking about whatever a lawmaker says during the performance of his or her duty, they cannot be held responsible for that. It's in the Constitution. Freedom of speech has a limit. Freedom of speech has a limit. Just like you can yell fire in a crowded theater, you cannot threaten the lives of other people, and you can't threaten destruction. The Capitol is the house of the Liberian people. Those legal criminals just work there. It's not their home. Folks that first that forgot that they not even have part to pay in before coming to Capitol Building, talking about they will burn down a building that cost millions of dollars to build. But you see, that's the problem. We talk about the low IQ and ignorance of our people. He was overcast today, driving around, and now he's a hero. And because of that, trust me, they are going to re-elect him. My sister Marcia Slenning said something in the comment about what friends have forgot speaking about the schools and hospital. Those things been there all along. What have they done? Every time you look at the budget, in the US or other part of the world, lawmakers will hold a budget because they figured out, okay, something was not funded well enough. So they will hold that budget. Who is going to hold the budget and say, even Evan Snow was on Spoon Talk today. Another person that is terrible for the country, but Sam Jackson over there, buying and talking about, he will be regarded as a statesman. They put a state in the country and they say he's not making enough money for the work that he's doing. When the labor minister said over 96% of the population is unemployed, but he's not making enough. But Evan Snow said, he himself admitted, some counties has 4 police officers. A whole county, 4 police officers. Who is going to hold the budget and say, we're not going to pass this budget or send it back to the president until we can make sure the people in Bapolu, in Maryland County are safe, they are secure. If somebody breaks into the house, we'll call police. Nobody will say that, but people will sit and talk all this stuff. Education, school, first of all, acting like he's the mayor of the people. Oh, then look at Fonadi Kofa. Those thing he talked about, he corrected the journalist by saying Alamo, and he said he talked about uprising, and people do try to spin it, but he said, he said uprising when the people stood up, they had nothing to do with fire. But uprising is it a good thing for Liberia? Rather than stop talking about uprising, people with political influence. Our people are so gullible in our country. When somebody that got $5 telling you to do anything to do it, and you talking about Alamo? What is wrong with him? That person on Bwaga. That people were all up for the brain. Why I thought you were going to kind of like a grumpy old man for saying everybody got re. Say I'm going to destroy the old corrupt system. I don't care for re-election. But he's sitting down there. The country is going backward. This country is going to be worse than it was under George Weah, which is a shame. It will be terrible for our people. He's sitting there and he's showing strength. Where's the strength? that he showed in our speech.
But Francis, I mean, when you listen to the president, his response, his tone, his posture, I mean, does this send a strong message? I mean, he talked about the need for investigation to be done. That regardless of who did what, investigation should be done and people should be brought to book.
Nelson,
and they want to develop the country no matter what happens.
Nelson, let me tell you one thing. That Grace didn't tell you wrote that thing for you to go see or tell you to go see that
Come
thing.
on, no.
Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you why now. I don't just say thing. Let me tell you why, Nelson.
Okay, go ahead.
That video, when the baby burned in the fire when the next day, they took the hospital, the next day he passed away. The President Barack say anything about fire in our country. When the poor houses burn in West Point, the President Barack say anything about fire in our country. All the fire have been happening. The President Barack say anything. But anyway, Frantic Kofa, house caught on fire. The next, he set 20 alarm clock so he could wake up early in the morning to go to Frantic Kofa house. So you know what your priority is. We thought John we are calling people Labrador, but Labrador are President Barack gentlemen. You know,
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your input, Francis. I want us to take Raymond, and then we're gonna come to Charles on this one.
So,
Raymond,
Liberian people, I want to begin with this. Fanati Kofa is not a man of the people. He's not a man of the law, and a lot of you support him and call him all the positive things. I will start by the image and the personality of Fanati Kofa. Fanati Kofa had an opportunity to live in the U.S., went to school, and had a position that many Liberians do not hold in the U.S. What he did with it, he stole money. Because of that, he got convicted, and he's a felon in America. Nobody wants to be a felon. It's the worst name you can get in the U.S. He's the one in Liberia. How he started this thing. He was out of the country where the deputy speaker in his absence preside over section. Fanati Kofa incited his men, other men who hold position, and because they got extra money, and all this thing is a fight about power and money. They use profanity. They talk about killing people. They use man curse on their colleagues so that session could not be held. And the speaker don't have that power to prevent session from being held. The authority of the House of Representatives lies in the individual lawmakers in their numbers. That's how they make decisions. Plenary is the highest decision-making body of the House of Representatives. He deprived them for sitting because he was not in the country. An act of violence. That was the first thing we witnessed. He came to talk about the Alamo. The Alamo, there are two things. It was a wildfire and it was a fierce battle where people died. So if Fanati Kofa posted that and he talked about the Alamo, he's talking about two things. And the Alamo fire that took place in 2017 in California.
Raymond, I want to interrupt you a bit by bringing this video back. This is the video when Honorable Kofa spoke to this fire situation in his post. Again, I want us to listen to this.
Those who were in charge of the building will have maybe looked at the investigated it properly.
You actually made a post yesterday, Alumbo, and later on it was removed from
Alumbo. It's Alamo.
Okay, Alamo. But later it was deleted. What did you delete, Honorable Lawmaker?
Men and women.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So folks,
Alamo is a principle has to do with the principle of men and women who stood up to defend their life. It had nothing to do with fire.
So
those were the words of Honorable Kofa. Yeah,
and that's a lie. The Alamo fire took place in California, where one building burned, a single building. Up to today, nobody knows the cause of the Alamo fire. That was a decode message Fanati Kofa sent. One building burned, the Capitol building burned. Up to today, nobody knows the cause of the fire. And the next Alamo that took place during the Mexican and the Texas war, every person who stood up died. People died. It was a fierce battle that people died. Canada was fire. So if he's situating the Alamo for anything, He's not the man of Liberia. That's chaos. That's destruction. For what cause? For the millions of dollars he earns as speaker? The power that he got to appoint people? The control? We can see the turn of events. He wasn't in the country. It's the will and pleasure of the majority to remove him or retain him as speaker. And nobody can stop that. The Constitution gave them that power. He went through other means, unnecessary means, unconstitutional means to prevent them from having section. We saw how Jerry Yogba went in the joint session that they got no authority over, removed chairs. We saw the likes of Yaka Kulva fighting police to go disrupt session. We see all the violence posture they have put up. We hear the Senate and the House of Representatives use that building. And we saw them relax, trying to barricade the building that they got no authority to do. We see all the violence. We see all the clue leading to this. And it happened. And look, let us not be clueless. There's something called being reasonable. The deductive theory says when it quacks like a dog, it is a dog.
Thank you.
All of the indicators shows, and even Fanatico for posting the Alamo and deleting it, it was a decoded message he was sending. The Alamo fire that took place in California in 20-something, one building burned. And nobody knows the cost of it today. And that's why the message Fanatico was sending. And right after, less than 24 hours, the Capitol burned.
Thanks a lot, Raymond. I want to hold you there. You think he was sending an encoded a message, and yes, we needed to decode it or whatever. But interestingly, and this is where I want us to make the transition now. Legislators, just a day after the burning down of the Capitol building, lawmakers went up Capitol Hill to realize that the lock to the main chambers of the House of Representatives was changed. And then the question has been, who changed the lock? So let's do this step by step. On the first incident,
Nelson, be fair to Charles. Let Charles make a contribution on the first conversation before you transition.
Charles.
Nelson, you trying to forget me?
No, but sorry. You know, when I'm looking, you see me looking at the camera. Sometimes I have a whole different type of open. I'm trying to get something else, so I wasn't taking notice of you. But go ahead quickly, Charles. Then we.
All right, yeah. But I hope you give me my adequate time. That
you have 1 minute, sir.
All right. So I will start by saying, first of all, let me condemn the fire incident that took place at the Capitol building. Again, it is very, very sad. It is sad to see our Capitol, on flames. But again, I want to look at it from different perspective, a different spectrum.
Okay.
I don't want to shift blame on anyone, but I think we need an independent investigation team because
what's wrong with our own investigative body?
I come in. Nelson, let me let my talk, please. And the reason why we need an independent investigation team is because the police themselves needs to be investigated. For the past 2 months, we all witnessed the presence of the police. The police are on tape saying that they are at that Capitol building to protect life and property. Where were they when the fire took place? I expect them to be there 24/7 around the clock. Since you are there to protect life and property, you should have been there. Even the Capitol Police need to be investigated. And you cannot be a suspect and be the one conducting investigation. It's contradiction. It's contradiction. It's a complete contradiction. And so the issue about the speaker coming up with the word Alamo, again, we all, went out and searched the word. We read about it. We understand the nitty-gritty of what the speaker posted. Again, the speaker need to be questioned for his post and immediately taking it down. He need to be questioned for that because, like every one of us is saying, the word Alamo there are too many things people will say. It has to do with demonstration. It has to do with violence. It has to do with massacre. It has to do with a pop something tree or whatever. Again, he made it clear in his interview with the journalist that something about defense. The people,
people who came and stood up for like that
to defend themselves. Defending yourself, other people will define it differently, and the actions of what take place at Capitol building, someone will say yes, it's in defense of their right because they are claiming that they are on the right side of the law, and so yeah, they're doing things. And again, I don't want to again say the speaker camp, the minority are the one responsible for the fire until we have an independent investigation team that will go through the process.
Again, Charles, maybe I want to ask you this question one more time. Why do we need independent investigators? Why do we have police? Why do we have the other investigators that are being paid taxpayers' money? Independent.
Nelson, there are some details, findings. Whether it was electrical shock, I just want to believe that our people will not be as fair as possible to say yes, it was electrical fault. Okay. Another thing, if we have an independent investigation team, there will be no bias. Understand now that this government now is running wherein the president will say this, that's what happened. People will say this, that's what happened.
I want to hold you there.
Seeing it today in the government, and at the end of the day, trust me, when we go to investigation, they will run away on people who they want to run away on.
I want to hold you there, Charles.
Because even the police themselves, the Capitol Police, all of them need to be investigated.
Thank you. Let's hold you there, Charles, because we really have a lot to cover tonight. We're left with just less than 30 minutes to be on the show. Sandy, you want to take your 1 minute, weigh in your thoughts. Mr. Victor Smith, an engineer, a very good friend to our brother Raymond, is coming on as a guest panelist tonight. He wants to weigh in his thoughts on some of the issues as well. Mr. Smith, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Oh, thank you very much, Nelson.
The make us on surprise this time around. We're not getting this time. Let me ask people.
No. I'm not sleeping. Thank you, Nelson.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. So we're going to come to you, but let's have Sandy to weigh in his thoughts, and then we come to you next.
Nelson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're live.
Good evening. Thank you. I almost missed the show until I started listening to my brother Raymond defining Alamo as if he's an expert in this other area. Raymond, unfortunately, this is an area of property that you least know about. To say Alamo is associated to disaster, that's fabrication. That's fabrication. There are so many towns and cities in this country, USA, that are named Alamo. One of the most famous towns here in the US is right here next door in my state of New Mexico. It's called Los Alamos, which is the tree. It's a US federal city, very popular. Many towns and cities in California, you talking about a fire in California. The reason that fire was named the Alamo is because it started at the Alamo Creek. There's a water there where the fire started, around that area. So they named the fire the Alamo Creek. Fulatikofa, the real history behind the Alamo, which is what happened in Texas, it wasn't a massacre that people just go on the street and decide to destroy it. The Alamo was named because people defended. They defended their territory in Texas, and they were run over by a Mexican army, a strong Mexican army, defending their right, protecting their rights. So let's say Fonatico, and he said it. He said you were listen.
Sandy, let me ask you one question. Is Alamo in any way associated or connected with fire? I know there are other definitions and all of that, but is there anything about Alamo that's associated with fire?
Of course.
A fire happened in California, and it's called the Alamo Fire. The reason it was named, let me end it. The reason that fire was named is because it's where the fire started. There's already a place there. There is already a place there.
I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
So the fire starts somewhere in Morovia. Then you say Morovia fire. Or fire starting in Grand Gila, you say Grand Gila fire. That's it.
I get that part. So so you're confirming that in the midst of the many definitions and all of that, or context of Alamo, there's another context that's associated with fire. You're confirming that, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So just conclude. Just
let me conclude.
What was the fabrication?
Hold on. What Raymond is insinuating here is that because Funati Kofa posted, and the man defended himself. When he was asked by the journalist, he defended himself. He said his Alamo has to do with defense, and I mean, I think I didn't capture the full. But it had nothing to do with the fire.
Cindy,
it had nothing to do with the fire.
Okay,
so we cannot come here and say because someone, and I'm not defending Kofa, by the way. I'm not saying Kofa is associated with the fire. Neither am I saying that he's not. I came here the last time, yesterday we were on the call. I said there must be an investigation. But for a brother to sit there and say, oh, because they got posted, the moment there was fire, let's associate him with the fire. In fact, there is no need for investigation. He is the cause of the fire. And these are some of the biased investigation we're talking about that shouldn't happen in the country.
Exactly.
Look. You can't be cheering for Cindy or Charles.
No, but exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. You need an independent investigation team. Seriously.
Charles,
you cannot be having these people investigating people.
Look, Charles. Don't use Cindy to reinforce your point. You already exhausted your time. Let's have Cindy to use his 30 seconds remaining. Cindy, conclude.
Yeah, because my brother tried to help me interfere. Additional 1 minute, please. Folks like Raymond come here and already declare who burned the Capitol building. I think that is not okay. I understand the sentiment, my brother. I understand that you defend this government to the bones, whether they are in the wrong or right. You will defend them by any cost. But when something major like this happens in Liberia, let us remain neutral and allow investigation to go on. Liberia is not a banana republic. Liberia is a country of law. We have qualified team to investigate this fire, and they will come up with their result. But I agree with Charles. We need an independent, unbiased investigation that is not already pointing fingers at one side. Thank you.
I want to hold you there a bit. I see your hand up, Francis. We're gonna come to you guys. We'll make another round. But let's have Mr. Smith. Yeah, once I gave you 10 seconds, then we'll have to go to Alfred, then we'll have to go to mobile. So once we're making
I want to correct Cindy for a little bit because he keeps
correct me, I'll correct you.
Yeah, Nelson,
we'll keep correcting.
Nelson, that's so fair. That's so fair. He said a lot, especially about my person.
My own. They correct me, I'll correct them.
And I think
so guys, let's do this. Let's do this, guys. So we're gonna come to you guys. Let's have Mr. Smith to make his point. Your thoughts on this issue, sir. I guess you've been following the show.
Thank you again. I've been following the show, and every side got their own point. But whether the Alamo, whether it's investigation, let us look at the genesis of what has produced the fire at the Capitol building. I think it's an exhibition of a lot of things. In as much that I support this government, the government herself has not shown leadership in this crisis. The president that we elected to be a legacy president led this thing to torpedo to the point that the Capitol building was burned. And that's a sad story. The next phase of it is that Kofa is an individual. He is not a country. He's one of the 5.2 million people in Liberia. Of course, we understand his interest, but the interest of the nation comes first. He will win at the legal point. The Constitution will back him. But looking at the situation on the ground, he cannot win politically. He will never win this battle. I don't care how much he hold on, how much money he spends, how much times he runs to the Supreme Court. The line has been drawn. I think he should look at the nation and don't listen to the people who say he should not resign. He should resign because he can't win politically. The third phase of it is ignorance. We can have differences, but we can't pollute the Liberian people to that level or push them to that level to reduce themselves to go and set, even though we haven't investigated. But the act of setting fire at the Capitol building is at its lowest that we can do as Liberians. It just shows that, sorry to say, we got more dumb people in our country than people who are thinking. People are not thinking. They are just looking at what they can get now and support these kind of acts. And it shows our country out there to not be country of people or men of thoughts and men of law. And that is my own analysis on it. Joseph Boakai, we expect a lot of him from him. Sometimes I try to compare him with Ellen. Had this been Ellen, Ellen was clear. She didn't want snow. She stood up and said, we don't want snow. She didn't want Tyler. She said it. But why play all of these games with people's life? What does Joseph Boakai want to gain out of this thing? This has been something that he should have put to an end to it ever since. So at this point in time, we Liberians, we are led by ourselves to fend for the good. Because every time we make these decisions, invest time and money into people or into persons to come and lead the country, this is what they gave. So Nelson, it's a serious problem. There will be forensic investigation because that fire I saw it was like a class A fire. If it was electrical, it would be systematic, but you could see that it was blazing. So it means that fire came from a very strong source. I can hold my hand anybody now and say you are responsible, but I'm looking at the situation that led to it. And these are the things that led to it. Weakness of the president, the decision, Kofa wanted to be selfish, and the ignorance of Liberian people. So those three factors are where we are today. So that would be my input.
Thanks a lot. I want us to do the final round just before going. And I know Moba has a point to make, Francis and Alfred the same and all of that. But we're gonna do just all in the rounds. The next thing is just few days after, not even days, just about 24 hours after the Capitol building got a fire. The next issue was the changing of the lock. The main chambers of the Capitol building, the lock to that main chambers was broken. And somebody went and changed the lock. Okay, in other words, they played the majority black were having their own session. That entire place got destroyed. These are the images from there. What you see there are the chairs. You know that those chairs are removed before this fire incident. At some point, all the chairs were removed. Those majority lawmakers had to go and purchase their own plastic chair and put it there to have session. So the original chairs that were in that chambers are what you see in there at the joint chambers, where the president is supposed to give the state of the nation and all of those things. That particular place was damaged to this extent. Now, then following this incident, a day after, the joint chamber, the main chambers of the House of Representatives, where the minority bloc have been having their session, somebody changed the lock. They changed the lock and they locked the door. So the president took the original lock from there, put their own lock there, lock it, and carry their own key. And so today there were some attempts to break that whoever changed the lock, some of these things we don't even have to be saying them up here, but unfortunately we have to say it. I mean, so they were making attempts. Now these doors are not just the ordinary doors you have on people who just around the place. These are investments that were made by some of our international partners. For example, the new chambers, that door you're looking at, is part of the investment from the Chinese when they constructed that annex of the Capitol building, one for the representative, one for the Senate. And this is the area that was also this. Are we making progress here? Is progress being made? Now, Capitol building, the joint chamber was just destroyed. We're still talking about investigation, and boom, in few hours, the main chambers is being locked. The door, somebody carried the key, and then maybe another investigation should start from there again to establish as to who broke the door, who changed the lock, and carried the key. Is this a majority versus minority black situation? That they place the majority black having that session at brain, then the next day they place the minority black having that session, the entire place is locked and somebody carried the key. Is this a kind of coincidence, or is this something deliberate? Let's start
just carelessness on the part of this government.
Let's start with you, Francis, and then we're gonna go around the table. Alfred will be next, and then Mobile.
Yeah, before I really address this point, like I said previously, Cindy, when you kind of want to correct somebody and say they don't know anything about anything they are talking about and try to talk about Alamo Creek and all that stuff, and you also mentioned that the Senate, the Speaker, clarified things by saying people rising up to defend themselves. We spoke about the ignorance of our people in Liberia, the gullibility of our people. When Fulani Kofa stand up and talk about Alamo and talk about people should rise up in defense of themselves, what can we think when the next day there's fire at the Capitol? Nobody's saying he put the fire. You don't have to be the one to throw the match on the gas when you already poured the gas and gave a smoker the lighter to light his cigarettes. So when he talked about Alamo and he clarified, like you rightly said, people rising up for the right, and what happened in Texas with in Mexico, that's the same thing. That's the same. Anybody can draw that conclusion. He asking people to rise up or rising in Liberia, who knows which direction it will go. So it's dangerous for our country, for people to be using such rhetoric in our country and want to sit there and defend. Nobody's saying he did it or what's going on with his speakership is right or wrong. But words have meaning.
20 seconds.
If they have 20 different meaning for the word Alamo, and he said, rise up to defend, stand for your right, he's asking people to rise up, and he did not specify how they should rise up. Then, looking at this irresponsible behavior that just happened, these greedy criminals are going to get paid every day while the people are hungry, and you choose your lot. That pay there. So anybody can come and conclude that the majority black is the one that changed the law. What kind of irresponsible nonsense is this? What's going on in the country? Our people are suffering. No good education, no good healthcare, no security. Electricity. They talk about MCC scorecard, and we're improving electricity. Why did we improve electricity? They see Morovia, they got quarry for Eddington, Jowea Town. Now, that's the thing of Morovia, and I talk about improving electricity. And you got these criminals over there. Everyone knows they'll be getting out thousands of dollars when they rebuild that capital. Liberia will still be begging for a couple of rescue election time. They want to sit here and kind of play games with Liberia, use words and try to twist things around here. Come on, people.
Thank you, Francis. I want to hold you there. Let's take Alfred on this, and then Mobile will be next, and then we're gonna take Sandy.
Brother Smith, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, when you make that analysis as it relates to the ignorance of our people. But I would like to go further to say, not only that our people are ignorant, but the country is traumatized. The country is traumatized. People are walking in the street angry. So, Brother Smith, you in Liberia, just imagine a grown-up man go to school, spend 6 years at the university, graduate from the university, no job for him to do. He has 2 kids to send to school at the same time. The economic pressure and the social pressure, everything on that young man, he become traumatized. Anything can trigger his anger. And that's why we see in our country, you have few group of people in Liberia that control the country purse. They create chaos, and that's why we are having in our country.
But Alfred, do you think this thing was coincidental that they lacked to the main chambers of the House of Representatives just got changed and
Nothing. In a real civilized country where people are serious, right? At this time, Gregor Coleman should resign. He should resign. Greg should resign. He can't be the police chief when you see that kind of chaos going on. The police chief is on record of saying that they secured the Capitol building before the fire. He is on record of saying that they secured the Capitol building. Where was the security forces when the building got on fire? Where were the security forces when somebody went in there and changed a light? It's so simple that we are living in the 21st century that even the Capitol building does not have CCTV camera. That even the Capitol building does not have CCTV camera to assist law enforcement in terms of investigation.
You're talking about CCTV camera, and as someone, as a journalist assigned at the legislature, let me paint a picture here of what the whole security situation is like. So you have the Senate security. You have of recent when the situation, this saga at the legislature now, then you have the Liberian National Police. So the job of the Liberian National Police is to secure the entrances. So they are primarily assigned at the entrances of the legislature, whether at the back, the side facing the executive mansion and all of those entrances. The people who go in and out and do their patrol are the folks, the Senate security. They are the ones who know the in and out. That's why even when there was this robbery or whatever, when they broke into the offices of, I think,
Senator Kone.
And Senator Jara of Lofa County, I think. The first group of people who were called in or who alarmed on the issue were the Senate security, because they go in, they go out, they have access to the facility, but the Liberian National Police has absolutely no access to the inside part of the building, except where a police officer is assigned to a lawmaker, and that lawmaker is going out, and that's a whole different thing there.
Naturally, let me say this to you. I understand your explanation, right? The Capitol building is a national asset. In the midst of this crisis, where you find the security chief or the police chief coming up to say we have secured this building, there's a lot of security elements that must have been put in place. When you come to that point to conclude that you have secured a building, there must have been both exterior and interior security. You can't tell me say you secure a building and in less than 24 hours, you have blazing fire in the building, then you stay passing around, you say you won't be investigating. You should resign. The job is big for you.
Thank you. I want us to bring Moba in quickly because we are fastly running out of time.
Yeah.
Moba, your take on this issue.
Take it, Nelson. Look, my brother Alfred, I understand your frustration. I understand. But look, every part of the world, right? People sometimes breach security protocol. And the greatest country in the world, the United States of America, recently Donald Trump, nearly he was to be killed in less than a second. What happens? You want to get CIA? There was no security? No. There was security. There was CIA. There were a lot of security protocol that were put into place to protect him. But what happened? It still happens. Let's go back to the Capitol. Nelson, my brother Alfred, let me say something to you. The Capitol, we agree, I don't have a camera. That incident that occurred, it's not happening. The scene there that we all probably guessing or want to say no. It happened the day to that identical night. People went in there. The place was open. If the place is vulnerable to everybody, USA can move there today. You go over there. They don't have to check you. Somebody go over there, plant something and leave.
and you're talking about the security to be there. And they say when the security talk about guarding that area, they talk about guarding the entire structure from outside. They're not guarding the structure from inside. They're not in our building to say what's going on. But I can tell you for sure, in that around the building, there was nobody told anything in our building. No. The fire, according to our intelligence, the fire occurred from inside the building. So if you analyze the entire fire, you say happen from the building, and it can happen from outside, and then the building start burning from outside. So from inside. So end of the day, it was planted in the building. So you can blame the security, even because the security not allowed to go in.
But man, save me that argument. Right? Save me that argument, my brother. Save me that argument.
But that's what I'm telling you. So based on that, you will not blame the security. Donald Trump, now the president-elect, right? One of the most protected presidents in the United States of America. He was nearly assassinated. So you want to tell me you want to get security? CIA was not there? My brother needed too much politics and focus on the real issue. The thing is, it's happening. What we need to do, we can't blame the police. We can't blame the intelligence of our nation. All we need to do, like my brother Charles said, we need independent investigator for transparency. Because we don't want to point fingers, say the government bring their own investigator, they say they're pressing this, they're pressing that. Let the government bring an independent investigator to investigate that matter. It's an arsonist. It's a felony crime in every nation. So we got to take it seriously. We want to come here and joke with it and say we put on the security. The security put us out. It does that. Let me conclude. It does that you stand in front of your door and something happen in your house. You know? No, you're not in your house. You're not there.
Thank you.
The fire
I want to hold you there a bit more.
Outside the building, it occurred from in the building.
Let me hold you there a bit more, and then we can take Charles. Raymond will be next. Charles, go ahead.
Yes. Let me defollow my brother.
Charles, let me just correct my brother. When it happened with Donald Trump, the CIA boss resigned. That's what I'm pulling out with you.
So here's the thing. Even Alfred, it's fun that you even brought that up. But the issue about Donald Trump political rally and the bullet that whatever passed by his ear or something. The gentleman was not in the proximity of that occasion. It was a political rally. The man was not in the midst of the people there and they're going and shoot. No, he was somewhere else on top of building. You don't expect the CIA to be on top of the building over there. The CIA was right around him in the political rally around him.
Let's come to the Liberian.
That is a correction, but let me come back to the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
Let me come back to the Capitol. Again, like I said, is recklessness on the part of the Liberian National Police and this government. Recklessness. The first instance, like I said, this police chief was on tape, not even 1-2 times, that they are there, their presence at the Capitol building is to protect life and property. I saw police stopping representative car from entering our Capitol building yard. You just validated the point that you have two different kinds of security plus the Liberia National Police. One is responsible to protect the exterior aspect of the building and one that to protect the interior aspect of the building. Plus the Liberia National Police. Where were all these guys? Where were all of them? When fire took place, in the first place, that morning, you have people protecting outside. That morning, there was continuum of gasoline, according to information. I stand to be correct about continuum.
There was an empty gallon.
Empty gallon was in the yard. Was in the yard. How that gallon got there? If we had security all around the place. If we had security there, they should have an idea of what is going on. There's no way possible somebody will just walk out and just pass through these guys, then go all the way up there in the joint chamber and put the place on fire and leave. And then the next day, it not even past 24 hours, gentlemen. Not 24 hours. Not 24 hours. Somebody went back there and changed the lock. Changing the lock is not just 2-3 second process. It's not 2-3 second process.
But Charles,
I'm talking here, guys.
was this a kind of coincidence? Was this coincidental?
Coincidence of what? Coincidence of
The
what?
changing of the lock, the burning of the burning of the joint chambers one day, and then the next day the changing of the lock for the. I mean, like
No, don't say the next day. Say in
the
couple
seat
of hours.
the majority versus the seat of the minority.
Look, in couple of hours after the fire incident, as a signed police chief, the security should have been beat up in that territory. That's the first thing. You see the reason why I came on this platform and I said the president going to sign book of condolence was threat to his life. These are some of the things because the police, the security sector, they don't understand what they're doing. And like my brother Alfred said, yes, indeed, I support the issue that Gregor Coleman should resign automatically. In fact, the president should throw him out of that place right now.
Thank you very much. Raymond, let's take Raymond, then we're gonna bring Cindy and then we wrap up.
One certificate I will have to give to every Liberian speaker: they're all critics and they got no solution to any problem. And that's why our country remains what it is. We all got an opinion about everything. And our opinion, if you critically analyze our opinion, says nothing. No security anywhere in the world is absolute. Every security can be breached. So when we pretend like we don't understand these things, it's just mere deception. And the security at the Capitol building, we all seen videos. How many men? How many people go in and out of the Capitol building? How many persons work at the Capitol building that the security will prevent movement and search them down? We gotta be real and analyze things and speak in context of the reality and just make some vague imagination and speak to it as if to say it's factual. Now let me come to my brother Cindy, who came and misspoke. Cindy, you said I fabricated everything.
Just before going to Cindy, Raymond, what's your take on the changing of the lock? Do you think it was a kind of coincidence?
So Nelson, I do not know the time period. There are a lot of unknowns about what happened. With the time period as to when the lock was changed, whether it was a coincidence with the fire burning. But I know there's power struggle at the Capitol building. I know that Jerry Yogba on multiple times were trying to put locks at gate at the Capitol building. I know under the cover of darkness, he went at the Capitol building and removed the chairs. So I have seen actions from the minority bloc using nailing the door while their other colleagues were in chamber, using their staffers to fight their colleagues out of the chambers. So using the deductive theory, we've seen violence continuously on the side of the minority bloc, even utterances using profanity, threatening the lives of people. What are they not able to stop at? Even using stone when the guys were trying to read their resolution under their flag, to stone them. What can they stop at? We saw them trying to chain the gates, trying to prevent other government officials from accessing a public building, the government building. We've seen them out of council with the police officers. We saw the guys physical with police officers. What can they stop at? For me, let's be honest. Let's analyze the unfolding events and just stop and start creating something and say that we got no clue. We're clueless. And that's why I said deductive reasoning. The unfolding events, how they unfolded from one stage to another, a lot of violence at that we can point to. And let me come to my brother Cindy to defend myself. He said I fabricated everything. But Cindy, I wonder you are aware of the revolution that took place that liberated Texas from Mexico. The fortress called the Alamo. There are many movies. I watched a movie called the Alamo. And I know what happened in the 18th century. I know the Alamo fire that took place. You only added to my story and you say I'm clueless. So there was no fire called the Alamo fire, which I mentioned. There was no battle or war where soldiers died defending the fortress called the Alamo. And then all of them died. Is that something positive to talk about in a political struggle? When you're referencing war where people die? And the Alamo fire that you said are fabricated, it was a single building that burned. 2017. What fabrication about it? My brother, when you want to be biased and you want to express your bias and defend yourself, be objective.
Thank you.
Criticizing what someone said than just trying to say anything because you can alter the words.
I want to hold you there, Raymond, and then let's take Cindy, and then
yeah, Nelson. Well,
Yeah,
can you give me 10 seconds of Cindy's
yeah,
time, please?
we're coming to you right after Cindy.
Okay.
Tell your piece. Tell your piece.
Cindy, please go ahead. Go ahead, Cindy.
I tend to believe that I'm a nationalist. I do not have a side on this table. What happened in between quote unquote majority or minority, I do not have a side. I talk about my country, which is Liberia. Look, we can spin the word, we can use the word Alamo to fire, disaster. What I'm going to ask for, and what I'm asking for here is that we must have an independent investigation to know exactly what happened to the Liberia Capitol building. That investigation must not be biased and must not start pointing fingers. What's happening to our country is an embarrassment. It derails development. It prevents investors from going to Liberia. It discourages even Liberians, people like you and myself, from going home.
No, you should come
Liberia is not a safe country. I'm saying it again. I said it on a phone call with you guys. Liberia is not a safe country. And it's very sad that it will come out of our mouth, my mouth, that my country is not safe. But that's the reality. Those that we have elected are better driven, are self-centered. They care less about the development of our country. They only care about themselves. I don't care what side they are on, whether it's Funati Kofa's side, Rachel Kun's side, President Bwaka's side. All of them are implicated in this situation. They care less about Liberia. Not to the security issue. I agree.
And the breaking of the lock.
I agree. There can be security breach. I agree, Raymond. I agree, remember, there can be security breach. So let's pretend there was some security breach that led to the fire. But my brother, fire happened. And the next day, few hours, the building is being accessed by quote-unquote workers and people going in and out of that building. That's poor security. The entire building should have been locked down. After the fire incident, the entire building should have been locked down. Legislators, non-legislators should not access the building. Those going in the building will even tamper with the investigation. Will tamper with the crime scene. Now we're seeing just few hours after the burning of the building, we're seeing people, in the building trying to unlock those locks are being changed. Nelson, it's not a coincidence. People intentionally went there and locked those doors. Intentionally went there. The fight continued. Maybe some people believe one side burned the building, so now their other side, their side will go and lock the doors. That's the continuation of the fight. Raymond, you must agree with me on this one. The building shouldn't have been accessed, my brother. After yesterday, lock that whole building, conduct an investigation. The legislators, they are not even safe to be in the building. If the building have a fire, in my house, a portion of the house have a fire right now, I shouldn't be allowed to come in this house. That means the house is not safe until I can be clear to come back to the house. The next day, we start to see people going in and out of the building. Then you're telling us Gregory Como is a serious police chief? I agree. Let me add my voice to it. Let that guy find another job.
Thanks a lot. Let's take Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, go ahead, and then
brilliant exchange. everybody has a point, and that is important to the discussion. But I think those two incidents show clearly that the battle line is drawn within the legislative branch of government. The representatives, the minority group, and the majority bloc, it has spilled down to the workers. That's one thing you should know. In the entire building now, the battle line is drawn. Everybody got a side. So what you talk about after the fire, there was an incident of door locking. It means people showing their hands that we too can stop you from, because once I could assume that the fire was set ablaze here, so we can have our majority black can meet. But I say, okay, since we can meet, you two will not meet. So those are clear hands that you can know that the entire place is divided. But there got to be an investigation. We cannot pinpoint anybody now in this instance that you are the culprit. Yes, there will be investigation. There will be investigation. Yes, there was security breach. Yes, there was security breach. So we can say all over the world, I don't care how tight the security is, there will be people breaking the system. But it must be clearly shown that there is a need to bring everybody, both the legislators and the staff, together so that place can be better. And that is the way we can go now. So that's why I could contribute to the whole discussion, why locked and why the fire.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Let's take a few calls from our folks out there, and then we'll come back to do our closing.
How you doing, man?
0555
It's always good to see you, Chief.
75.
Yeah, I'm good.
0555
I know you're doing good in the US now.
Well, we're trying. Cindy there got us here. Taking care of us. He can don't mind. He will hold it for he can fly and can't see me though.
No, I mean you're my brother. You're my brother. I can't be how you.
The exchange is good because
075. Let's hear from our folks out there quickly. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you come from quickly.
Yeah, I'm calling from USP Singer.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. Let's hear you. Sir.
Yes, you see, when it comes to security or that place you're discussing, the security that in the building, they when they arrest all of them, they will be somebody will come up, will get the fast story. That's my point.
Thank you very much. Let's go there and take another person. 0555-101075. The WhatsApp number is scrolling on the screen there. You can call via WhatsApp as well. Hello. Hello.
Hey, that's it.
Yeah, go ahead. You're live. Your name and where you joining us from?
Okay. This is Charles Milan, and I'm phone from Brazil.
Okay, Charles. It's great to have you on.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the show. Let's get all to the point. Okay. Let me just give my info. For me, I don't think the police will be responsible. Those lawmakers, they are just not serious for the country. They don't care for the well-being of the Liberian people. Same building that is passed law in. There's no security, no water truck. There's no protection on that building. So anybody can just go in anytime they want to. And as you said, they're only responsible to protect the surrounding of the building when they were in traffic, but not to be in. So you don't have to blame Greg about being resounding. No. You can't do that. The police is not responsible. The lawmaker has own security within that building. Thank you for the show, Nelson.
Thanks a lot for your input. Let's take this call from the WhatsApp line. Hello.
Nelson, this is Elegant Design calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay. It's good to have you.
We know. Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be back. This entire fire saga or just the entire legislative behavior has embarrassed the entire country. Liberia was on a way to a different path. Now we're going back down, the embarrassment going down. But I think this is what needs to happen. I blame the president because the president is the father of the country. The president sat for a long time, did not speak up about the whole issue. And look where we are today. Now I see him up there, he want to talk now. I love the president. I encourage my family members to vote for him. But I'm very embarrassed to call myself right now of what's going on. Look at all the destruction going on. I think they need to tie all 73 of them up in a room, in the building, so they get their senses back. I think all of them
Thank
lose
you.
their senses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input. Let's take another one from the WhatsApp line. And we'll come back to take two more from the local line and then we'll wrap up. Hello, quickly, you're live.
Hello, Nelson.
Yeah, go ahead, you're live. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Nelson, my name is William. I come from Fargo, North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nelson, our Liberian situation now, bro, it make up sometimes we feel sick around the world, bro. But my thing here is, my take on this whole legislature thing here is Kofa playing the devil advocate in the whole thing. Bro, Kofa, Maviko, Yege Koluba, and Eugene Koli, they know about this fire.
You know,
you go, you got down. I didn't say my own.
That's why the investigation is going on. Yes, we appreciate your opinion. You know, your thoughts on this issue. Yeah.
Nancy, let me say something to you real quick. Nancy, some of the things are not supposed to be no investigation they want. Look at the many fields, field to field, and tell us say you people cause the thing. Kofa added that he acquire people. Everybody said now say Kofa.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
One of the worst person in the whole situation. Let's tell you in your face.
Thank you, but my man, you CDC man, you. Okay. Thank you, Collie. Thank you, Collie. Thanks a lot.
The man of investigation too short. No
0-510-1075. The WhatsApp number straight in the
Deductive theory.
I want to. Okay, let's take this person quickly. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you come from?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, quickly.
This is calling from Sunny District, Bon County.
Yeah, from Bon County. Go ahead.
I have a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with this kind of a situation, Liberia trying to recover economically, I think lawmakers should be responsible, upper and lower house. Their pay or for the 5,000 are supposed to be given to them, they all be educated to run with that billing.
Thank you.
That's my suggestion.
Now we're talking about 1.8 million or plenty of money being coming also. Hello? Hello? Okay, so let's take this person. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, my name is Momoke Bawe. I'm calling you from New Matari.
Momo, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I commend you for the show. I listen to the topic. You know, it's a sad thing for us, our lawmakers, to be fighting among themselves, not because of greed. Because the Bible talks about greed. In the last days, people will be greedy. So this is why they are fighting among themselves.
Oh, okay.
Or capital bidding, the burn unless they then law have been changed. There must be a proper investigation, and if the government take the case to be likely, then it means that the government is not serious.
Thank you.
All
right. So we have to hold the calls there. We're out of time. I think we can do our closing now. Let's do 30 seconds each. Yes, just 30 seconds to just get wrapped up now because we are out of time. Let's start with you, Moba, and then Alfred, Francis.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson, and thank you to our many listeners, and thank you to my fellow panelists. Look, the investigation team, the president need to invite independent investigator to investigate the matter because it's very important. It's a war on the capital and it's a war on the nation as well. And in investigation, I know that when the president or the government invite independent investigator, there will be a lot of ideas. They will bring a lot of forensic and other investigative tools or materials that will indicate and it will be transparent. I know that. So, Mr. President, is our appeal. Don't use our Liberian investigator because end of the day, people will question them, and because of what you said, and people now judging you when you went to the scene. So I think
bringing an independent investigator would be good. I mean, investigator would be good for the nation and for everyone who around the world as much as all Liberians. Thank you, Nelson. Thank you for.
Thank you very much, Alfred. 30 seconds, sir.
Nelson, let me end on this note by quoting one of Jerry Rawlings' quote that he said in our quote.
Now you are leaving Lee Kuan Yew, you're going to Jerry Rawlings.
No, Nelson, let me close. Let me close by saying this. Jerry Rawlings once says this. He said, if we can learn to be bold enough to restore value in our society, to restore truth in our society, then we can find justice. In Liberia, the culture of impunity is too much. We always find our side, even when the person is wrong. Few days ago, we had a Supreme Court ruling in this matter. But we've been on to say that politics, the politics is born out of the rule of law. Where there is no rule of law, there is chaos. Where there is no rule of law, there is no politics. So for people to come here and be spinning the thing, let's call this thing a spade. The majority black, they were hasty, they were wrong in their approach, and that's what leading to this chaos. For Nandikova need to have due process, then he have due process, because we don't want in the event people get out one day and say the impeaching president because they don't let the president action. And that's what we are seeing the case.
Thank
so
you.
We ensure that the rule of law takes hold in this matter. Thank you so much.
10 seconds exhausted. Thank you, Alfred.
Alfred said President Walker is no longer Lee Kuan Yew. That's why he's switching.
No, already. I said already. Look, I've already said that the president has not met my expectation. He is wrong, and I can't support him anymore.
In just 1 year, your expectation has been, but that's great. I mean, that's the beauty of democracy. Francis, you want to do your closing 30 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, where are all the 1 million people that are running for president in 2023? Where are they? Moreover, you are the youngest in the race. You have not opened your mouth to talk. Then you wonder why you can get half a point. When you come to Liberia, nobody will look at your face.
0.0 points.
People shall be considering you as a young man. Your country is on fire. You're not speaking. All the million people they know you're coming around. Just show that all the just greedy. You don't get it to eat. They are saying a lot. When are they coming in trouble? You're not coming. But when people just stop doing out there and sound. Because all the people that say out there, they are children in America or in Ghana. When they're sick, they get fly plane to go to Ghana, Egypt, India, America. You're only in Liberia, you can't even get paracetamol. But when they say, I was saying you jump south, you'll be there south. Your children, your future generation will be the next generation of south, and that children will be the I was saying, and y'all just southing, they'll be I was saying. Y'all stop them thing. Y'all look at the people there right now. All the people there over there. Not one building has passed in your interest. But today they're fighting to take out speaker or post speaker there. Not because they want to do for you, because they want to get that position to be able to speak. President Baga pay us. I still pray for him to succeed, because when he succeed, y'all will enjoy. But y'all stop doing sound. Election finish, y'all want 2029 to do sound, or 2028 to do sound. But right now, let all keep our eye on the government here. Let Popeyes be on one side. But y'all let them continue to use your children to be saying, oh.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Let's take Charles Konga. Go ahead. And then
Nelson, let me end by saying one of our favorite parables in Liberia says, what the old man seated can see, the young man, even if you stay on the mountaintop, you will not see it. That to say, everything that is going on, Joseph Boaga as the oldest seventh president in the government should have seen this thing long time. And his action, he should have taken action long time instead of him going to Capitol building and saying what he was saying. Something else I want to tell you, right? Our people are the victim. Our people are the victim. Everything that is going on, our people are victimized. And I would join my brother Alfred to say that we either need to set all those lawmakers down because they're not doing anything anyways. Let them sit down, and the money that's able to take for the next 6 months or a year, then they use it and renovate that building or fix that building. Because
is this anywhere near?
They are of no help. They are of no help. The money that these guys play with just within 3 months period can renovate that building, can fix that building right now as we speak.
Thank you.
What
Thank
they
you.
carelessness for?
Thank you. Thank you, Charles. Raymond, please go ahead. Your closing. 30 seconds.
For me, I'm using deductive reasoning. I've seen how things unfold at the Capitol. I've seen, and I'm aware that the Constitution allows lawmakers to change their speaker by using resolution and using the number 210 to remove the speaker any given time. When Kofa wasn't in the country, he prevented other lawmakers from having section, which was an abuse of power, and it tells you the character of the individual. This is a man who stole money in America. Corruption.
Raymond, someone may be concerned. If he wasn't in the country, how did he prevent lawmakers from having session?
I saw the video, and I heard Safoko. I heard Safoko say, Fanati Kofa have said, session will be here at 4. And they will not allow. And we heard the verbal exchange. How the deputy speaker was pointed, fingers were pointed in his face. Safoko claimed he had an arm on him, and anybody touch the door would be killed. Why would one lawmaker want to get killed because he want to have section? That's the violence that had everything begun. Today, and we've seen how it went on and on, removing chairs from a joint section that the House of Representatives don't have an absolute control over. Chairs were being removed. We saw gate being locked. But all the people who talking about rule of law, who talking about country, have never mentioned any of these things. That's how subjective you are. You don't really care about the country. You take a side and you will fight for your side, come what me. And you will pin a black brush on the other side. Now you're talking about the police director being held liable for everything. Look, every other is responsible for their action. If the police director did not take Arsenal to that Capitol building and he needed the fire, why should he be held liable? We can talk about security breach. No security anywhere in the world. My brother is a security personnel. He knows security isn't absolute. I don't care how secure a place is. The level of risk exists. He's a security personnel, so he should know that. But when he's talk and he don't mention that kind of thing, it tells you he's subjective. He's not being objective. I can challenge him to provide security for me and get him all the amount of money in the world. I can hire somebody that can breach his security. And he know that exists. But he will pretend like he's Mr. Know-all when it comes to security, and Gregor Coleman is the no little. And so Gregor Coleman should be taken out. And let's stop that because that's not going to help our country in any way. Thank you.
Sandy, 30 seconds. You're closing.
I hate to sound like I'm defending Kofa, but when my brother Raymond speak and go back to Kofa stealing money from America and coming to Liberia, then I'm just moved to defend the brother. Raymond, the man, served his sentence. The case was addressed. Let me talk, my brother. Please get back on me.
But it doesn't mean that he doesn't have a criminal record. That my criminal record I'm speaking about. I'm talking about his sentence he served. That doesn't justify his actions.
My man, close your mic. Close your mic, please. Thank you.
Guys, we are seriously out of time.
Yeah. So that tells you that Raymond's position is solely based off of his support for the majority black. Raymond shows here that he's strongly against Fonati Kofa to the extent that he would deep into his personal, to attack him personally. And that's wrong. That has nothing to do with Liberia. My brother, please bring me on me, I beg you. That has nothing to do with Liberia. But look, the issue of security, the last time we were here, Charles and a couple other folks said the president going to the Capitol building was at risk. Put him at risk, and I defended, I spoke against that. I take that back, my brother. I agree. I also saw the following day, the president and all of his, the vice president, Mr. Kuhn and everybody else were seated right in front of the building that just got burned. I also agree that it's a security risk. So when we talk about security and we talk about Greg Coleman, they are ill-informing the president. And that's a risk for our president. That is not okay. Look, at the end of the day, our people are suffering. Our people are engulfed in this conflict that they did not create, and they are suffering. The legislators are still getting paid. Whether the building is on fire or not, whether they go to work or not, they're still getting paid. And the ordinary Liberian people are suffering. I will say this. The system of government we have in our country is not working for us. It's not working for us at all. We need what is the model that is being followed in Rwanda.
We need dictatorship.
We need the model that will be followed in Rwanda. That would be my
nationalists calling for dictatorship. What an irony.
Please, 10 more seconds. I beg you.
Okay, thank you very much for your closing.
10 more seconds. No, it's unfair. If Raymond is every time going to disrupt me, you don't give my 10 more seconds. That's unfair.
Okay, take your 10 seconds and just conclude.
Thank you. And if Raymond disrupt again, people in the back. If I go to Philadelphia, you don't want to give me food, it's okay.
Don't worry.
On a serious note, the legislators, they are our serious problem in our country. They don't bring any revenue to the government. They take away, they don't bring anything. They bring chaos, they bring conflict, and they don't bring any money to build up our country. I think that team need to be dissolved for now. But I know it's impossible because of the kind of governance we have. And it's delaying us. Our friends around us are moving forward. But have you looked at the news? Have you Googled your country in the last few days? Have you Googled
your audio has gone back. Nobody on the show can hear you.
Have you Google your country, Liberia? When you Google Liberia, you feel sorry for your country.
Thank you.
So bad news.
Thank you, Cindy. That's why.
No, there are some good news here, man. It's not so bad news.
Bad news.
No, there's some good news here, man.
Mr. Smith, go ahead, sir. Just do your closing. Take us home.
Yeah. I first of all thank you all for the opportunity given me tonight to share the platform with you guys. But I will just close on this: that we need to come together. The legislators need to come together and find a solution to this thing. Kufa can walk away from this thing easily and let the country live. We also want to appeal to the president for him to provide leadership, not only in this case, but all other cases that will come from here on. He has 5 more years to lead us. We pray that he take his leadership very serious because we want him to lay those foundations that other government will build on. So thank you again, guys, for the opportunity, for the eye-opener. We'll always be here to support you, and we are available to come on your show anytime to make our.
I will you out tomorrow.
Raymond, don't say anything yet.
Hey, thanks for being here, Chief.
Come on, don't say anything. Close your mouth. Don't say anything.
But mama, why are all Raymond now? They met all your own.
I put the bullet in their arguments.
It's been a great show tonight. It's been a very great exchange of ideas. We may not always agree on the issues, but I believe we all have our country's interest so dear to us, and that's why we come on here to do what we do. And I want to appreciate everyone. Thank you, Morba Zokia, for being on tonight. Alfred Konowa, we appreciate you. Francis Jabate, thanks for being on. Charles Gonga, Raymond Zeze. He has independent before his name, but some people think he's not.
You gotta change it.
He's not independent. You gotta change it. Because he listen to everything you know. Say why he stand.
I'm the only person here who's calling for somebody who has a criminal background not to serve in our government, and you guys supporting that you say you're not independent.
The same people you supporting voted for him as speaker.
Yeah, as speaker, very well.
So thanks for sharing the platform with us as well. We appreciate you coming on as a guest panelist tonight. And to our folks in the comment section, Madam Marcia Snelling, Anthony Gay, our brother Baron, Elegant Design, Jessica Beslow, everyone, Lynn Lackborb, Gabriel Boyman, H. Davlas. We appreciate AJ, and all of you. Thanks for being on here tonight. We look forward to having another great show tomorrow. The late night show, we will not be coming on Mondays and Wednesdays, but the rest of the other days will be coming on. These are adjustments we're trying to make, and subsequently, it will get back, of course, as it were. But we want to appreciate everyone for being on tonight again, and have a good night.
Raymond, go ahead, rest,